Creepy Things Kids Have Said, Part 6. One of my preschool students decided to tell us about the man who watches over her from her doorway while she sleeps. She told us that he gets very close to her face, and when she tells him to leave her alone, he disappears. A little cousin came home and started staring at all the Christmas decorations. He said, it will take 11 days. 11 days later, we went out for dinner, and an intruder took most of our decorations. I was changing my daughter's shirt, and I got a feeling that there was another person around, but we were home alone. My daughter looked behind me and said, "She's hanging from the roof, Mommy. Don't look." Creepy facts you probably don't know, but you're about to. Part 3. So, way back when, there wasn't always nice little plastic bowls and cups to drink out of. So yeah, they used hollowed out skulls as their cups and their bowls, and yeah, you could be eating or drinking from the head of your enemy. So yeah. Stalkers caught on camera, Part 1.
So, a little backstory on this video right here. A man set up a camera because he wanted to catch his girlfriend stealing the food, because food has been going missing, and he was like, I know it's you, and so he wanted to catch her lying. So yeah. He sets up this camera, and as you can see in the top right, you see like something dropping down out of the little loft area, and that is not his girlfriend. It's this woman who's been living there unnoticed for a few weeks. Once she gets down, she ends up going and grabbing her some food. She pees in the sink. She watches some TV. And yeah, she's just living it up like it's her place. Soon after, the homeowner watched the cams and she was booted.
2-sentence horror stories, Part 3. On my way home from work, a homeless man showed me a newspaper article with tomorrow's date. It said I was murdered by a homeless man while walking home. I woke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. The girl heard her mom yell her name from downstairs, so she got up and started to head down. As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, "I heard that too." Creepy Things Kids Have Said, Part 7. I was in a grocery store and walked by a mother with her 5-year-old. The little boy smiled and waved, so I smiled and waved back. Then he said, "You should eat your friends for dinner. That's what we do." One of my exes committed suicide. Shortly after, I was watching a movie with my niece, and she looked up and asked, "Who's sitting next to you?" I told her that no one was, and she said, "No, there's a tall man with red hair sitting next to you. He says his name is Alex. He says hi." My ex's name was Alex. My daughter and I went for a walk through the cemetery while we waited for my son to finish his piano lessons next door. She stopped dead in the middle of the graveyard, pointed at a grave spaced out, and said, "This is where you're going to sleep forever." Kids songs with disturbing backstories, Part 2. Next up, we have the Three Blind Mice, and this song is said to be based on the reign of Bloody Mary. The Three Blind Mice are believed to be a trio of Protestant bishops who were trying to overthrow Mary. Mary caught wind that they were trying to overthrow her, and she burnt them at the stake, and it was rumored that she dismembered them and blinded them. As the song goes, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. So yeah, kinda messed up. Creepy Things Kids Have Said, Part 8. My friend's 4-year-old had an imaginary friend named Jenna. One time we were in the car and stopped at a red light next to a cemetery. She looked up and said, "Bye, Jenna." Her mom asked where Jenna was going. She then pointed to the cemetery and said, "Home." She lives there. A 4-year-old daughter randomly said to me, "I want to know what the inside of your head looks like." My mom's grandfather died very close to her wedding day. When my brother was born and first learned to talk, he'd always talk about a man named Steve. Steve was my great-grandfather's name. Door cam footage that'll creep you out, Part 3. Kids songs with disturbing backstories, Part 3. Next, we're going to talk about Ring Around the Rosie, which was based on the Black Death. If you don't know what the Black Death is, the Black Death was a bubonic plague which killed between 75 million to 200 million people. So, Ring Around the Rosie refers to the red rash that you would get if you were sick. Pocket full of posy was what was used to cover the smell of death. And then ashes, ashes, we all fall down refers to the cremated bodies of the dead and then their ashes falling. So yeah, pretty messed up. How it feels to die, getting eaten by a snake edition. So if you know anything about anacondas, you'll know that they don't chew their food, so you could very well be alive going down the hatch. Also, on a side note, the man you're seeing right here actually set out to be intentionally eaten by an anaconda to raise like awareness for the rainforest and to get clout for himself, I would say. Once you're in the snake's throat, you're going to be locked straight up in there by its teeth like a marriage. You're also going to be nice and sticky and wet because you're coated in its saliva. At this moment, you're probably going to be feeling a nice, sharp, crushing pain, almost as bad as feeling the weight of all your problems. And then you're going to feel the life literally squeezed out of you as its muscles constrict around you as you slide down its throat. The good news though is that snakes want their food dead before they're completely swallowed, so you'd only feel this crushing pain for a little bit longer, and then you could be dead in a couple seconds due to blood being constricted. And then your body would just have to chill in there until it's time to be digested, which could take up to a couple weeks. Creepy things kids have said, part 9. I was watching TV and my 5-year-old sister cuddled up to me and started to make circles with her finger around my lips. She said, "A man is going to shoot you. You're gonna die, you know, soon." My cousin's front door randomly opened by itself, and her 3-year-old son said, "Hi, Uncle Pat." Pat was my cousin's brother who died 10 years earlier, but her son had never even been told about him. I was changing my daughter's diaper in the middle of the night when my 2-year-old came in and stood next to me. She looked at me with a big smile and in a sing-song voice said, "Mommy, there's somebody behind you." The scary thing is, we were home alone. This is known as the expressionless. A popular creepypasta tells the story of a woman walking into a hospital, but this woman didn't look like an ordinary woman. She had no expression, her face was sort of like a mannequin, and she had no eyebrows. She was wearing a white gown, which was covered in blood. Her mouth was dripping blood, and in between her teeth was a kitten clenched between her jaws. She soon pulled the kitten from her mouth, threw it aside before collapsing herself. She was then taken to the back, where she still showed no emotion, but doctors thought it would be best that she be sedated and restrained. Both a male and a female doctor tried restraining her, and as soon as they started, she looked at the male doctor and smiled, showing her razor-sharp teeth. Out of fear, the girl doctor let go, and she looked at the male doctor and he said, "What are you?" before she soon ripped out his jugular, then whispered in his ear, "I am God." She soon fled the hospital, and the female doctor called her the expressionless. How cartoon characters would look in real life, part 1.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm half crazy.
Kids songs with disturbing backstories, part 4. Alright, next up let's talk about This Little Piggy. So in the song it says this little piggy went to the market. Well, the pig ain't actually going shopping. What the song is actually meaning is that the pig will soon be sold at the market in some form of bacon or other food because it's been slaughtered. So yeah, kinda messed up. Creepy facts that you probably don't know, but you're about to, part 5. So the old girl you see right here is Indonesian pop singer Irma Boulay, and while on stage, she was bit by a king cobra that she was performing with, and then she refused medical treatment and performed for about 45 more minutes before dying right on stage. So pretty scary. Stalkers caught on camera, part 2.
So, the boy that you're seeing in this video right here has been stalking the family's 20-year-old daughter for ages. The two went to school together, but they didn't really know each other. And yeah, he just decides to show up, leave gifts, and just talk to the camera. And she's had him arrested 3 times and even has a restraining order against him. Now I'm gonna let you hear what the video says with sound.
The best moments are not captured on camera or pictures or anything like that. My name is Logan Anthony.
Creepy facts you probably don't know, but you're about to, part 6. There was once a Chinese woman who aged about 50 years in just days. She went from this to this. Doctors believe this happened due to a seafood allergy. So yeah, that's kind of scary. Kids songs with disturbing backstories, part 5. So next up we got Jack and Jill. So it's rumored that this song was based on a couple who used to sneak out at night and go to the well to, you know, do some private business. The girl ended up getting pregnant, then the dad fell on a rock and got killed, and then the girl died during childbirth. So yeah, kinda messed up. 911 calls that'll freak you out, part 1.
Your emergency.
This is Sandy from 21 Road. Rock Clement Road.
What's the
Send the
problem?
police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chip killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Drop
up.
the gun.
Please, hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
He ripped your part. Hurry up. Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
We're done. Please, you shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what's wrong.
He ripped your face off.
Creepy things kids have said, part 10. I walked into the bathroom to get my 4-year-old out of the bath and she quietly said, "Mom, all my toys are dead. I held them under the water and now they're dead." She then whispered over and over, "Dead in the water, dead in the water, dead in the water." My 2-year-old daughter was playing with her toy kitchen and I saw that she'd put a plastic baby figure in one of the pans and was sauteing it. When I told her we don't cook babies, she said, "It's just to take the skin off." I overheard a little girl, referring to the new daycare employee, say, "Her eyes are pretty. I want to wear them on my charm bracelet." Kids songs with disturbing backstories, part 6. Next up we have Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush, which was actually based on prisoners. So the story goes that the song is based upon a group of female inmates who were forced to exercise round and round the mulberry tree. So yeah, that's a little bit messed up. Door cam footage that'll creep you out, part 4.
Take it to the hospital. Take it to the hospital. It's not safe. It's not safe. Get your mailbox. Right there.
Creepy facts you probably don't know, but you're about to, part 7. The man you are seeing right here was a homeless man who decided to rob a bank for $1 so he would have a free house. He walked up in the bank, gave the teller a note that said, "Give me $1," that's just like a stick up, and then he waited for the cops there and yeah, went to jail so he could get medical treatment and have him a house. So yeah, that's kind of sad and scary. How it feels to die, spinning edition. So the thing about spinning to death, the G-forces is what's gonna kill you, and it's gonna be pretty ugly and messy. Alright, so first things first, I'm the realist. No, I'm just kidding. Your face is gonna feel super heavy, your eyes are gonna start feeling all droopy and like they're full of crap. Once you hit about 10 or 11 G's, your whole body's gonna feel like you've gained about 10 times your weight. And the party's just getting started. As all of your blood starts being pulled down to your little piggies, your heart's gonna try to keep up, but it can. So it's just gonna go crazy erratic, start pumping super hard, and it's gonna make you feel like you gotta throw up. Once you hit about 13 G's, all the vessels in your body's gonna start swelling up and expanding, and your eyelids are gonna be swollen up like crazy so you can't even see, and your body's gonna feel like you're on the brink of exploding. You might even lose consciousness because your blood is so pulled away that it can't even reach your lungs. And then once we get to about 15 or 16 G's, you dead. Kids songs with disturbing backstories, part 7. So next up we got Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater. So if you look at the lyrics, had a wife and couldn't keep her, so his wife was cheating on him, so he killed her and put her in a pumpkin shell. So yeah, kinda messed up. Door cam footage that'll creep you out, part 5. Kids songs with disturbing backstories, part 9, I think. So next up we got the Lizzie Borden song. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Kids used to jump rope to this song, and you may already know the story to it, but if you don't, I got you. This little jump roping tune is actually based upon Lizzie Borden, who viciously murdered her stepmom and dad with an axe. This all happened in the late 1800s, so forensics and all that jazz has come a long way since then. But yeah, she was acquitted and never faced really any charges or prison time.